So the expanded written method is an informal method, and as you will see on the policy, it's not got a particular stage, because this is a stage within a stage, and it's a really important one because it helps the children to understand that they are adding numbers together, and it's not just 1 and 3 all the time. It is 10 and 70, and it is 400 and 600, and this helps them. It's not a long stage, and it's one that some children might spend a really short while looking at, but some children might find it a nice comfort blanket to keep going back to. So we'll have a little look at the question, and we'll use the one that is on the calculation policy first, and then do another one just to go and show how it can also work. As with all these, as you will see throughout the process, place value is essential, and this really helps with the place value and gets the children more confident in it. So on the calculation policy, you have 418 added to 272. Now this might be one of the stages that, as parents, this is where you start to go, ooh, I've not seen that before. But that's okay, because it's quite a good way to go. Now you notice I'm not going to put the second line down yet, because actually it's easy to do it at the end, and you can work out your own spatial awareness. You can put them down straight away, but it just helps. So, as you will see with all these processes, when we look at adding, the columns are absolutely essential. We have our ones column, we have our tens column, and we have our hundreds column. Now we always start with the lowest number, which in this case is the ones column. So it's 8 plus 2. Now that gives us 10. So what we do now is we write the number 10, but we need to make sure we write the number 10, remembering that we have a tens column and a ones column. Not a units column anymore, same thing, it's just a different way of putting it. So we write 10, we've written number 10. To remind us, sometimes it's worthwhile just putting what the actual question is that we've gone and done there. So we've got 8 plus 2 on the side. You don't have to do that, but sometimes it just helps remind where they go, especially when you come to do multiplication later on, and you might want to do that just to keep a track on the calculations you've done. We then go to the next part, which is 10 plus 70, and we can write 10 plus 70 as 80. So we do actually have the 80, and we write it underneath on the next line. So again, it's your 10 plus 70 gives us 80 there. Then we go on to the hundreds column, which is 400 plus 200, which gives us 600. And you'll notice that I'm writing all the numbers, so they're in the correct columns, and even when I'm writing down here, they're still very clearly underneath each other in their correct columns. Really, really important when you're doing maths, we have that organisation. Now I'm going to draw my second line, which is like my equals lines here, and then it's quite simply, we add each column in turn. So this one, conveniently, we have nothing, so we write a 0 in it. Then we go down the next column, which has got a 10 and an 8, or 10 and 80, which gives us 90. So we just write the 9 in there because that's 9 tens. Then we go to the final column, which is 600. There's nothing else in it, so it's 690. Quite straightforward to do. The only one there that's caused any real problems is this number here, when instead of having just a single digit, you've had to get the 2 in. Okay, so that's the first thing to go and look at when we're doing these sorts of questions. So I'll just move that over there a little bit. It just takes a few seconds just to move. And I'm going to, oh, it's not happy with that. So, as if by magic, that particular question's now disappeared, which is fantastic. But we'll have a look at another one just to go and show the whole process again, but using slightly larger numbers, and also just looking at what we do when we have to go and look at the different columns involved. So we'll go for a slightly larger number. So we'll go for 3,796 added to 2,433. So just looking at some different issues here. Obviously, again, we make sure that we start with ones column, which is quite simply 6 plus 3, making sure we keep the 6 and the 3 and the 9 all in that single column there. So everything else that is a 1 goes in there. From now on, everything else in that column will be a 0. Then we go to the 9 plus 3, but it's not 9 plus 3, it's 9 plus 30. And we've got to bear that in mind, and that's the key to actually getting this right. So 9 plus 3 is 90 plus 30, which gives us 120. Like so. Again, if you want to, you can write the little the calculation you're working on down the side here. I'm not going to this time. Then we go to the next one, which is going to be 700 plus 400. Again, 700 plus 400 is actually 1,100. So we make sure we write them very clearly in each column, keeping the numbers nice and safely and secure. Then we go to the final column, which is the thousands, which is 3,000 plus 2,000, which gives us 5,000 all the way down. As you can see, the way they've written the numbers, really, really clearly, keeping everything very, very tightly in columns. Now, if you did happen to have a number that, when you added it together, ended up carrying, you would carry it in the normal way. There's not an example here to go and use, so I'm going to avoid that for now, and that's in one of the later stages. But 9, there's just 20 in there, so that just means a 2. 2 ones gives us a further 2, because that's 200, and then a final one at the 6,000 there. The key, though, as with everything, is that place value is very, very solidly embedded in this particular answer.